Obsessive-compulsive disorder is an anxiety disorder that affects about 1% of the population. The symptoms of this disorder include recurrent and persistent thoughts, repetitive, often ritualistic behaviors, and the presence of marked anxiety surrounding these thoughts and actions. Although most people experience some obsessions and compulsions, these behaviors are considered abnormal only when they cannot be controlled and when they significantly reduce the quality of a person's life. Laura and Marna are longtime friends who have both suffered from obsessive-compulsive disorder since adolescence. Although both women live relatively normal lives, their disorder interferes in significant ways. For example, simple actions such as filing an important paper can set off a spiral of compulsive behaviors. These behaviors can become highly ritualized and can occupy an entire day.
When I was in school, I would walk down the halls and I would be looking at other people and I thought, they don't have this in their brain. They're not, I mean, it was just, they weren't obsessing. I was acutely aware.
Me too.
That I was
different or whatever.
Yeah, different and agonizing, and I wanted to be like them for a minute, to have some relief.
I just thought I was completely weird. In high school, I would spend 45 minutes putting on mascara, and like each little lash. Why am I doing this? I would say to myself. This is weird. None of my other friends take this long to put on mascara. I have two major OCD things. And the major one would be like checking either paperwork, clothing tags, or zippers. The other one that I hate the most, that really brings shame inside of me or whatever, is the picking of the scabs, the obsessively picking and repicking scabs, and that's the most painful for me. On a bad day with my OCD, I wouldn't be able to figure out what to wear. Would be running around, and then I'd be sweating a lot because I'd be getting nervous because I'm running late, and then I wouldn't be able to find the particular paperwork that I needed to take to an important meeting that day. Because what I'll do is I'll put it away, and then the urge, and you can feel it. It's almost like a surge that you have to. We've actually never talked about this particular aspect, but it's like a surge, and I gotta check, I gotta see, is that other insurance paper behind there, and what's behind that, and what's behind that, and what's in the other little, how dividers in a portable file kind of thing. And so I just end up checking all of it. And in my worst days several years back, I would check, I have to cut the tags off my clothes, because I'll check, made in Korea, and it's a large, and I know brand names for zippers, because did I ever tell you about the zipper one? Yeah.
People with obsessive-compulsive disorder often become obsessed by unpleasant or inappropriate thoughts. As you will see in this segment, for example, they might think about harming someone they love, and when they are unable to purge this idea from their mind, they become highly distressed. Furthermore, they might feel driven to perform a ritualistic act, such as hand-washing or counting, in order to avert some perceived threat. As is typical of people with OCD, both Laura and Marna are keenly aware that their obsessions are irrational and counterproductive. Still, they have great difficulty controlling their obsessive thoughts and behaviors.
On a bad day, one of my worst days, I was up all night, so 7 or 8 hours, trying to figure out what to wear. And I was aware that this was happening, and it was frustrating. It was sad, and I didn't know how I was going to get out of that. But I had to figure it out. But that's 7 or 8 hours, and then I was exhausted, and then I had to go to school. and I knew that it was going to affect my whole next day. But what do you do? I mean, I just couldn't figure it out. I don't have to go grocery shopping anymore. I avoid it at all costs. Okay, so I'm going to the produce aisle and I'm getting some celery. And which bunch do you take? And if there are people around, then it creates more anxiety. So I'm carefully, I'm looking at each bunch, and I know, okay, that one's not going to do it, and so then I have to, I might pick it up. Okay, I might find a bunch that I like, pick it up, put it in the grocery cart, and walk down, and I know that's not the one that I want. So I'll just kind of strategically, okay, as soon as that customer goes down to the next aisle, I'll go back and get that other bunch that I thought, yeah, that's the better bunch. Sometimes I just have this compelling urge to step on the gas and just go. And then if a pedestrian's crossing the street, and I will have this compelling urge to run them over. And I mean, I've never done that, and I learned that if you get into a situation like that, you can just put the car in neutral, and that will help. And I have done that at times, because I just don't want to deal with the urge or the fear of actually running them over. I've been walking down the street with a friend and felt the urge to just push him into traffic, and so I thought, let's just go over on the other block, walk down the other street. So, and I don't think that I would ever do it, but I have the thought nevertheless, and it's disturbing.
During the 1990s, researchers made great strides in developing treatments for people with OCD. Today, a combination of behavior therapy and medications can reduce obsessive-compulsive symptoms in nearly 60% of those who suffer from this condition.